What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Cold Combat Science. Over the last couple of years here at Fight Factory, I've been working a lot with beginners. So I wanted to go over some of the lessons I give to beginners here and some of the common questions I get, so that way you can access these lessons online. So today we're going to be doing 2 escapes from side control, one where we're recovering the guard, and then the other where we're going to use an underhook to get out. So I'm going to have Diego start in a kind of traditional side control where he's got his knees up to me with the cross face and an underhook. And I can't get my frame in here, hold up a little tighter. So I can't get my frame on the bottom, and I can't get this arm in as well. So my priority here is to get frames in. That means I'm checking with my wrist against his body to create space. So my priority is gonna be my near side frame first. The way I'm gonna get that is I'm gonna take my bicep on the top side and I'm gonna push his ear to his shoulder as I bridge up into him, and that's gonna allow me to slip my elbow inside and get my wrist checking his hip. Usually what happens at this phase is the top person's gonna use their shoulder pressure and their chest pressure to flatten you back out. But with this frame, you can see that I can sit Diego's hips back slightly. So now I'm gonna repeat the same bicep into the ear and bridge, and then I'm gonna roll my shoulder into him and then pummel my hand back on the inside. And if he flattens me back out, now I have a frame on the hip and a frame on the shoulder where I can raise his head and turn him away. Next step is gonna be a bridge and shrimp in succession. So I'm gonna bridge up into him, activate the frames at the top of the bridge, and then I'm gonna hip escape and make space here. After I make space, keep holding. So from here, my next goal is to get an elbow-knee connection on the bottom side. So I'm gonna bring my bottom knee to my elbow, and what that's gonna allow me to do is drive my knee into his hips and free my head. Once I free my head, I can take my outside leg, cover his back. I'm on my right hip, the side he was on. I want to clear this bottom leg, so I'm going to point my knee out, take my foot to the inside, and usually they'll be walking this knee up to trap that foot. Now stay on your knee, just walk your knee forward. And so I've got my foot trapped. I want to free this leg so I can go to close guard. So now I'm going to shift to my opposite hip, give a little kick, and then I can pummel my foot out, close my guard, and then I can break his posture down. And I've recovered from side control to the closed guard. So let's go through that one more time. Hold a little tighter, Diego. So he's got me in side control. He's turning my head away. I can't get my frame in, and I can't pummel my hand in. So I'm gonna knock my bicep into his ear, trying to turn his head offline. Bridge up and in, slip my elbow. He flattens me back out. I repeat that process again. Drive in, and then I push my shoulder forward and pull my shoulder back as I replace it with my hand. Now I've got my frames. I'm gonna bridge up, hip escape, create the elbow knee connection. Once I get my elbow knee, I've effectively escaped the side control, and now I just need to work to close my guard. So I'm gonna point my knee across his chest, swing my head away, cover the back, take my foot to the inside, and if this foot's still trapped, I'll shift, kick with my leg, and then bring my leg around and break the posture. Okay, so that's escaping the side control, recovering your guard. Now we're going to repeat the same steps at the beginning to get frames, but instead of recovering to guard, I'm going to build my base up and get to my knees. So I'm going to bridge in, slip my elbow, bridge in, get my second frame. Now this time, instead of hip escaping with my hips as far away, I want to turn myself into a sprawl. So when I bridge up and turn in, I'm now gonna take my top arm and pummel my hand under his arm and around his back. As I'm doing that, I wanna flip my hips over into a sprawl position. So I'm splitting my legs, circling my elbow to the mat, and coming up and taking this deep underhook where my hand's on the far side hip, my head's into his chest, and then I can reach for his far knee and hit a knee tap to land myself back into side control. So let's go over that one more time. First, I gotta activate the frames. And then once I make space, I pummel my top arm as I'm splitting my legs, circle my elbow, come up, ear to chest, head under the chin, reach for the far knee, and then I'm driving off my toes and clearing the knee as I land in side control. The other option you have, some people don't like closed guard. I have long legs, so for me closed guard is a better position. I'm gonna be able to get to that pretty easily. For those of you with shorter, thicker legs, you may wanna take an option where you combine the two escapes together and get your underhook, but still recover to a half guard. So again, I'm gonna get my frames in, and then when I turn on my side here, keep tight, Diego. So I bring my elbow, knee together, but maybe I can't bring my knee all the way across his waist like I was for recovering closed guard. So I'm gonna point my knee down in between his legs, and then I can take my outside leg, pass it over his ankle as I pummel my underhook. Now, I have a shallow underhook, my elbow is closed. What I wanna do is get from my knee in between his legs to my foot, and then I can use this underhook to shift to my side. So instead of a closed guard, I've got what we call here at Fight Factory a Coyote half guard, where my outside leg is hooking his ankle, and I can use that in the same way to come up to the knee tap position. So this is a lesson I give to a lot of beginners. I'm gonna go over multiple techniques over the next few months that are geared towards beginners in jiu-jitsu. So if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you want to see anything else.